Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm standing outside of the 2025 Jayco Pinnacle, the place I call home. And I did want to bring some attention to some of you guys who may have this specific model RV or may have a water filtration system that is housed inside of the RV, because as you know, all the water is going through your filtration system. So if you do spring a leak and you're not notified or have the proper proactive measures in place, you're going to have some major water damage. So I'll bring you here in a second and show you the water filtration system that I have, kind of show you the really easy, like $5 solution I made to kind of help me catch a leak early if it were to happen. And then just briefly explain the water filtration system, at least with what I have experienced with it. I've been using it for about a week now. I'm probably going to take the filters out and just bypass the filters because the water flows pretty slow, but we'll get to that. So let me get you closer and show you what's up here and tell you a little bit about the story. So you see here's the water filtration system that I have, the Nuovo H2O. It is like a 3-stage water filtration system. So all water that comes into the RV goes through this water filtration system. So by default, if you get this RV brand new, or let's just say it was winterized, none of the filters are actually in any of these housings. They have these small spherical caps that rest right in there that blocks off the actual where the filter would go. So the water kind of just bypasses and just goes right along the top there. So you'll get pretty optimal water pressure throughout your entire unit. But again, the caveat is you're not going through the water filtration system. So I had the caps in, and then the one cap was slightly dented in this filter right there. So when you actually do have the caps in, you'll see a slight little gap here just by the nature of how the caps go in there. And since it was dented, it was allowing a little bit of water to bypass and leak right out of this spot right here. So if you don't have any type of water leak sensor, which as you see here, I have one in here, lesson learned, if you don't come to your storage bay a lot, you might really not know that you have a leak. I decided at that time to actually put the filters in to test that out because I've had this RV for a few months, and I was like, hey, let me see what it's about. And I put those in, and kind of just building the water pressure is kind of trash compared to bypassing the filters completely. But yeah, so been testing those out, and then I'll get you a little bit closer and give you a breakdown of it, but a quick tote was my little solution. So giving you a closer look at the system, you have the water that flows into the filters, goes all the way through, and then comes out. You do have a valve there to shut off the water that goes into this water filtration system, which is nice, quick access. Cool. Problem is, you have so many leak points on this. I mean, if it starts leaking out of the actual, any of the filters, intake, where it comes out, there's a lot of possible spots for leak. And the problem is, all water through the RV is coming through this. So if you do have a leak, it's just going to completely flood your storage bay if you don't catch it in time. So to try to prevent some of that or be proactive, a lot of the leaks that happen in RVs are small little baby leaks. So you might have some water coming out of here or here. It's usually not like a, oh my gosh, it explodes and bursts. If in that case, you're probably still out of luck, but at least you can sense it. So what I did here was I went to just Target and I grabbed like a cheap bucket. Since there's a little bit of space behind these filters, I just push the bucket right up here, and then this naturally gives the bucket a slight downhill angle when it's in here. And then I put the water leak sensor right in there. So if this were to start to spring a leak, the water is eventually going to either fill this up or just enough water will come to hit the sensor to let me know, hey, you have a leak. These are Yolink water sensors. I'll give you a quick look here. If anybody's curious, I can throw a link in the description or leave a comment for you, but these are game changers. You just get these little sensors, they last forever, and if you do have any type of water leak that it detects, it'll send you a text message, email, you can set up all that stuff. So I just keep that right in there. I also keep the little device that tightens and loosens the filters just in case for some reason it was a little loose where tightening might stop the leak. So I just keep that in quick access. So just to kind of show you guys, this is a really quick setup to catch leaks. And also I was thinking about putting like a tray down there to kind of catch water in case there was a leak, but then I lose the storage space underneath. So this bucket still gives me enough space, as you see here, to put a small carry-on case underneath it, which is cool. So if you do have a water filtration system like this, I highly recommend something like this. It might not be the prettiest, but I'd rather have something that's not pretty and not lose all my valuables and flood the whole entire unit. And as you see here, this tote, if I would even go a little bit longer if you can find one, because if it does start to drip out of here, I pretty much have both covered where it would leak into here and still start to fill this tray. But if you had one a little bit longer, you're going to be able to catch anywhere that it could leak here and not drip out. So as you can see, I'll try to give you a better angle here on the other one. I tried to get it as far as I could, but I was limited by the tote size I have. So if you do run into any wider totes, feel free to use it. I'd go pretty decent depth. At least I did it for this just because I was wedging the actual tote right behind the filters. But you could do this so much better, but I was just going for ease because you totally could get a tote, screw it into this so you could maybe make it shallow. It's not kind of up to you. But I'm looking for ease. If there was a leak, I can pull it out real quick, dump it. But again, you're only going to hold so much weight in this if it did start to leak fast. As you see, like I'm just wedging it up there. So just bringing that up. So this wasn't a flashy video by any means. I hope maybe it helps some of you, or maybe this is something that you're looking at doing, and I hope your RV clearly never leaks, but in the circumstance that it does, I would like you to save your unit and not have flood damage, because you don't want to lose everything you keep in your storage bay. I was lucky I didn't have too much in here, and I have water sensors behind this actual wet bay wall. So the water actually, since the RV has a slight lean back, the water slowly kind of carried itself to detect on one of the sensors. Otherwise, besides emptying the black tank, I'm usually not on this side of the storage bay in general. It's, you know, I might come here once every 1 to 2 weeks, depending if I'm checking on something. So, you know, that water, for it to do that, was probably leaking for quite a few days. And I'm lucky it was just kind of like a slow drip rather than anything that was a little bit faster. So just wanted to mention that. I will say, if you currently got like an RV like this, or you're bypassing, like you have the winterization caps in the water filtration system that you have, I would definitely take some consideration in terms if that is the right option for you. I only say that because I was bypassing it for quite a few months, and I feel like I have solid water pressure in the RV. Uh, so like filling toilets, sinks, showers, you get a lot of pressure. And then you also get enough pressure where if the shower was going and I was turning on the faucet in the kitchen, I'd still have decent pressure. I wouldn't get like a complete drop and loss, because I am at a resort right now. So the water I have going through a regulator, so the pressure hasn't changed. So when I put the filters in, the water pressure is a lot less, like noticeably less. So if you did have the shower going, we do have the shower tower in there, but you're not going to get the pressure that you're used to that you would have had if you were bypassing. And then it's even worse. Like if somebody was taking a shower and somebody in the kitchen turned on the faucet, it almost goes to a complete trickle. Like this filtration system only does 5 gallons per minute, so it's really not fast. So if you are somewhere that has some pretty clean water, or you have a filter, you guys can't see it right there, but I have one of those blue filters that go right to the spigot that feeds into the RV before it goes into the hose. I'd highly recommend thinking if it's even worth using your water filtration system, especially if you're living in your RV more full time or it's more stationary. The water pressure, very important. So just wanted to mention that in case any of you guys are on the fence. And if you did take the time to watch this video all the way through, appreciate your support. If you have any questions or comments, get this bug away from my face. Thank you. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section below. I get to all the comments. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. And if you would, I would appreciate a sub. I'm just going to be putting a bunch of different content. You're probably going to see a lot of content with the Pinnacle because, lifestyle. But you will see a bunch of other things. So until next time, enjoy the rest of your day.